What's up, everybody? Today is an exciting day, and let me tell you why. Because this steering wheel is coming off, and we are throwing on a carbon fiber steering wheel. I've never had one in any of my cars, so this should be awesome, and I'm really excited. So today I'm going to show you exactly how to install that, everything all the way down to the torque spec of the bolt to the steering wheel. Before I get started, make sure you smash the subscribe button right now, hit the like button, and let's get started. First thing we're going to do is disconnect the battery. Alright, so this is the left side of the steering wheel. You're going to take a small flathead screwdriver and push them through these holes, 2 on this side, and then there's 1 over here on the right side of the steering wheel as well. Alright, so I want to show you guys what we're looking at here. It's going to be this pin, and then this pin right here. And what you're going to do is push those up, and that's going to release it. I'm going to show you. If we're looking at the right side here, you can see my... Oh. Gosh, it's literally so difficult. Like, it took me literally an hour because you can't see where you're going. But this will help because I didn't really have anyone to help me out. But you're going to go right up in that hole and you're going to push that right side just like this. And my steering wheel is a little bit turned to the right, but that is the angle that your little flathead screwdriver should be in. All right, same thing for the left side. You're just going to take your flathead and you're just going to push this over. So you're just going to be fishing it through just about the same angle. Angle is going to look like this. And you're just going to be pushing up, and it is going to be frustrating because it's going to fall out and it's just difficult. And once you get to the bottom, it's going to look like this. You're just going to push it straight up. Just make sure you're being super patient with it because, like I said, this took me an hour of just fishing around, and I literally felt like I was about to give up. You just can't see where you're poking, so just keep moving it around, keep poking, but look at this video and look at the orientation and see how the flathead is being held, so that'll help you at least have an idea of where it's at. So honestly, I hope that little tip helped you out because this is going to be the hardest part of the entire job in my opinion. All right, so as we look at the top of this wiring harness, we're going to see a black push clip, and right now we are going to just push down on the top of that and we're going to pull it back, and that is going to release that clip. All right, next thing we're going to do is disconnect this ground wire right here by just taking our flathead and just pushing up on it, and that'll release that. And then from here we're going to put our flathead behind this little tab, push outward, and then that's going to release it, and we'll be able to pull it straight up. Now as far as these little yellow tabs go, you can't really mess these up. You just want to lift up the orange tab right here and right here, and once those are lifted up, you can just pry these straight up and they'll come right out. Little flathead is definitely the tool to use for this job so far. And these are both color coordinated, so you won't mess up the orientation when putting these back in. Alright, next we're going to disconnect the heating element tab, and we're just going to push down on this tab, and then that's going to be able to allow you to pull that right out. Next we're going to take our 10mm Allen. This is going to have a 1/2 inch drive, and I'm going to use my breaker bar. We're going to crack that center bolt loose. I also recommend that you take a picture from sitting in the seat directly straight on so that you see where the straight position is for the steering wheel so that you don't have to mess it up and get it crooked. Because we all know that getting that airbag off again is not fun. So we're just going to pull that right off. And just going to fish these wires through the back. There we go. Now we have the steering wheel out of the car, and the first thing we're going to do is remove these 2 bolts. Now that those 2 screws are out, all we do is just pull up on the back of this, and this piece is going to come right out. So we're going to take our trim tool, and we're just going to stick it in here, and we're going to be very careful and just lift this up. Alright, so these are definitely going to feel like they're going to break when you pull them up, but they won't break. I just want to show you guys on the back of that I just pulled out. That's what it looks like. There's just a couple nipples, and this one kind of seemed to be stuck, and it looked like the circuit board was separating. So just pull from the end over here. Make sure your buttons are still working. We're going to take off this back cover piece. The first thing that we're going to want to do is remove this little clip. So the best way that I see to do it is to take 2 flathead screws and just push each side end of these clips. And then you can push it through. Next, we're going to remove the screw at the bottom of the steering wheel cover. Magnet. We got 2 more clips, one right here and the same one on the other side we're going to take out. Push them together, kind of pull back at the same time. That's going to release that. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Let's push it out. Alright, so now we have to take off the back cover here. So we're just going to put that steering wheel face down. And this is just the heating element that's stuck to the back of this plastic. We need this plastic. So what we're going to do is just pull it off. It's just held on by adhesive. So we're just going to remove it. Alright, and that's off. Alright, and from the original steering wheel, we do want to take this clip off of the heating core element, and we're just going to undo it and just pull it right out. I wanted to show you guys the back of those pins. You can see all of those marks that I made from jabbing. I basically destroyed the back of that trying to aim for that little pin there on both sides. Alright, so now we're done with this steering wheel completely, the OG, so we can just put that off to the side. And now we can bring in our replacement steering wheel. This is going to be the first look here. So if you guys can pick this up on the camera, I'll get some shots here at the end. But we did go with the regular gloss carbon fiber with the perforated leather. And also this is designed to retain the heated steering wheel element, and we went with the white 12 o'clock to match the paint. So I wasn't cool enough to get sponsored by Marvel Motorsports, but I did like their products, so I ended up going with them above everybody else. So I'm going to link his website down in the description if you guys would like to go check it out. He has forged carbon, he has the matte look, different color stitching, and you can also do carbon thumb handles. You can change up a whole bunch of different things, and he has pretty good prices, so go ahead and check him out, link in the description. Alright, first thing we're going to do is flip this steering wheel over, and we're going to install this plastic cover onto the back. And we're going to push those tabs on the left and the right back through. Okay, so now that we have that clip out, we're going to come to the new steering wheel. We're going to put that clip in the back of this wheel. You'll hear it lock. Alright, I want to show you guys what I did. So I just put that back cover piece on, push these clips in right here to lock, and then I tucked that heating core element through here, because when you look at the OEM steering wheel, the heating core element goes down underneath the leather here. Since this is carbon, I'm going to push it up in the sides on both angles, and then I clip that wire right here for the heating core element. And we're going to screw in this screw. Next, I'm going to take the buttons, and we're going to clip these on. Make sure that the buttons work before anything goes back in the car, so just tap all the buttons, make sure they click. My speaker button was locked up there, the voice command, and I had to just take it off and click it in the back. But just make sure that's done so you don't have to do any more work than you have to. Next, we're going to take this trim piece and throw it back on. Put down the 2 screws. Alright, so we got the steering wheel back to about where it was, center. So we're just going to take our 10mm, tighten this up. And just so you guys know, I'll put it here on the screen for you. I'll also put it in the description, but the torque spec for this bolt is 46 foot-pounds. So I want to give a shout out to my buddy Seth for hooking me up with the torque spec. He works over at Toyota, and he was nice enough to look that up through All Data, so that is a legitimate torque spec of 46 foot-pounds. So thank you, Seth. So now we're going to take that connector up top, and we're going to plug that back in. And we're going to take the connector from the heating core, and we're going to plug that back in. So now at this time, we are going to torque down the center bolt to 46 foot-pounds. So now we're going to take our airbag, and we're just going to flip it, and we're going to run these wires through here just like we did before. This white one's just going to click straight down. That's going to lock on, and then we're going to put the ground back on. So that ground's on, plastics on, and these two you cannot mess up because they're both color coded. So we're going to take the blue to blue, let that orange piece, let it be up first. So once you go down, you're going to click it, lock it in place, give it a little pull just to make sure it's on. So these are important for sure. That's on, and we're locked on. So we're gonna let that snake through this side on the bottom, just like that. I'm gonna be 100% honest. This was so difficult to get back on. I am gonna like hold this and I'm gonna drive around a little bit, make sure that the steering wheel is straight because you can't really mark it. You kind of just have to eye it up. That's why I took a picture of it to make sure I could get it on straight as I could. Looks good to me. I think I'm going to be able to hit this no problem first try. If I goof up, I do not want to have to take this back off. So I'm just going to hold it here. Everything's connected, so there's going to be no error codes. Go for a drive, make sure everything's good. If so, we'll pop this back on. If not, we'll be able to pull it off easily, take that off, that bolt off, and readjust everything accordingly. Yeah, it actually looks like it's perfectly straight first try. Yep, so that is just sitting on there, but that looks straight. Good thing this is a straight road, so it's pretty easy to see. Wow, that thing is so sick. Definitely straight, so we're all good to go here. We can lock that in now. Hopefully this is coming up pretty nice in this POV. I'm excited for this. This steering wheel feels really good. Not sure if it's heated though, to be honest with you. I'm not really feeling that yet. Okay. All right, so we're back in the GR and I can't really tell if I'm feeling the heat from this. So I am going to contact the owner and see what he thinks. Because obviously the regular GR Corolla steering wheel was pretty hot. You know when it's on. When I turned that on, I had it on for 15 minutes and I couldn't really tell. Just wondering what's going on with that. So anyway, we are going to snap this on once and for all. So, oh, I probably should have freaking disconnected the battery first. Okay, actually, I'm going to do that real quick. All right, take two. I had the battery connected. Obviously, I was just driving the car. So when we put this on, we want it disconnected so we don't have to annoy all the neighbors like we already do. Okay, so that went on super easy. So that's on and we're ready to go. All right, guys, so that is it. That is the carbon fiber GR Corolla steering wheel. Like I said, I'm going to link it in the description and we're going to cut to a cinematic shot in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so as you guys can see here, this steering wheel on the finished result actually has a red 12 o'clock instead of the white, and let me explain. So the reason why I have a red 12 o'clock instead of the white is in the video you guys saw me do that test drive and that heat was not actually working. I wasn't sure if it was working. I let it on for 15 minutes. Nothing ever did anything. And the owner at Marvel Motorsports, Eduardo, I was in contact with him and we were trying to figure out a solution. The good news is everything's all fixed now. So if you guys do order from him, it's all taken care of. But basically the connector pins in the connector were too short and they were not contacting the points that they need to on the OEM connector, so it wasn't heating up. But after we figured that out, I sent my steering wheel back and he ended up repairing it for me. He has great customer service. I only have good things to say about him. He really took care of everything, the shipping, and worked with me. Yeah, I had to put the steering wheel on and like test it probably like 5 times, or I had to take it on and off and put my OEM one on and stuff like 5 times. So I got really good at taking it off. I should have just filmed another video at the end because I was so fast at doing this. But basically, now that I'm just rambling on, the reason why I went with the red, after we had that issue and I had to send it back and get another one, he did have a white one available that I could have got, but if you guys saw my video with the red seatbelts, I was actually thinking, how am I going to tie some red into my car? So when all of this happened and went down, I kind of just was like, hey, Eduardo, do you mind if I just get a red one?
And since, you know, he knew that I was dealing with everything, he just was like, yeah, that's cool. I'm just happy to announce that this is all taken care of. The steering wheel is great. I love it. I love the feel of it. It heats up really hot. It almost burns my hands, but the heater does work. I give it a 10 out of 10. So head on over to marvelmotorsports.com. I'll leave a link in the description. You guys can go and check that out for yourself. Thanks for watching today. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe for some more content, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.